Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. I am Allison Kinney. In the news this afternoon, a strong storm system in the northern plains is creating strong winds that produce a round of severe weather across the western Great Lakes on Thursday, May 15th. But the storm has at least one more round of severe weather to dish out, and the setup with this one is better than most. Widespread severe thunderstorms are forecasted to develop from northeast Texas throughout the Midwest throughout the day, with a particular focus on severity across the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. All hazards are on the table, including multiple tornadoes and hurricane-force winds. Thunderstorms have already occurred early Friday morning, and some of them have been strong, with some hail noted in a few cells from northern Arkansas to northern Kentucky. These storms are forecasted to dissipate through the morning. In their wake, they will leave behind a nearly pristine environment to produce severe thunderstorms. Ahead of a cold front that stretches from northern Texas to Michigan early Friday morning, temperatures are well into the 70s and are forecast to approach 90 degrees in some locations this afternoon. Widespread dew points in the 60s to lower 70s are leading to some juicy service conditions and are priming the region for a major severe weather event. Storms may fire before noon across the Ozarks and expand north and south from there throughout the rest of the afternoon and evening. Tapping into a fantastic environment, thunderstorms may start as individual cells with the risk of all severe hazards, including tornadoes and massive hail. Clustering is likely to occur rather quickly, and multiple clusters are forecasted to traverse the area this afternoon and evening. Now let's check in with Dusty Sonnenberg as he gets an update on field conditions and planting considerations.
I'm joined today by Stephanie Karoff. Stephanie is a field specialist in agronomic systems and an assistant professor at OSU Extension. Stephanie, we are at the middle of May essentially, and a lot of crops went in early. Some of those uprowable, looking good. Some struggled a little bit with a lot of that rain we had. But now as we're at this point looking forward, I think a lot of folks asking that question, where do we go from here? How do we evaluate the stands out there? And if we haven't got a chance to get in the field yet, do we need to be contemplating any changes moving forward?
Thanks, Dusty. So first, focusing on those that were able to take advantage of that planting window in late April. I've been pleasantly surprised by the stands I've seen from those fields. Some yellowing, but showing some promise in stands. So I'd recommend, as we get closer to VC and soybeans, so those cotyledons out, and later for corn as well, to go out, take those stand counts, and then also evaluate the consistency of that stand across the field. Do we have a consistent stand throughout that's going to be able to combat any weed population and pressure later on in the season? And especially for those earlier planted cornfields, even if we have a reduced stand, even if we're looking at a 25,000 plant per acre situation, that early planting date is still gaining us yield potential compared to if we would go in and replant at the end of May. So even if we had stands of 35,000 at the end of May, we're going to have less yield potential compared to that lower stand in late April.
Great information. Again, my guest today is Stephanie Karoff. Stephanie's a field specialist with OSU Extension for Agronomic Systems. Stephanie, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Dusty.
In the news as well, soybean prices jumped higher on Monday's release of the USDA's first look at the 2025-26 estimates in the latest WASDE report. In short, the 295 million bushel ending stocks estimate for 2025-26 surprised the market compared to estimates looking for 362 million bushels, ensuring a volatile weather-related market lies ahead. The glaring issue is the yield the already tight ending stock figure was based upon. At a record 52.5 bushels per acre, it may turn out to be far too optimistic, especially considering the drought conditions being experienced in the western Corn Belt. To date, yield appears to have peaked at a current record of 51.9 bushels per acre, set in 2016-2017, and has trended steady to lower since, with disease and insect pressure due to tight rotations potentially taking their role. In fact, the last 3 years have failed to top 51 bushels per acre, with 2024 at 50.7, 2023 at 50.6, and 2022 at 49.6 bushels per acre. With the U.S. and China embroiled in likely their worst trade conflict in history while early seeding was taking place, it would be understandable if seeded area falls even further in the June final seeded area report, due out June 30th.
Every time you use biodiesel, you're fueling more than your engine. You're investing in Ohio's farmers, reducing emissions and creating cleaner air for all of us. Did you know biodiesel adds 13% in value to every bushel of soybeans grown? That's good for farms, good for families, and good for the future. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
This market report is brought to you by Seed Consultants, simply better performance. Online at seedconsultants.com. July corn down 5 even at 443.5. December corn down 3 1/4 at 435.5. March corn down 3 even at 450.5. July soybeans down 1 1/4 at 10.50. November soybeans up 1/4 at 10.35.5. January soybeans up 1/4 at 10.47. July wheat down 7 3/4 at 5.25. September wheat down 7 1/4 at 5.39. June live cattle up $1.05 at 212.22. August live cattle up 90 cents at 206.75. June lean hogs down 37 cents at 10.37. July lean hogs up 5 cents at 104.17. August feeder cattle up 177 at 297.60. And June class 3 milk down 20 cents at 19.18. Have a great day, and this is the Ohio AgNet.